Hey guys, this is John with the FJ Cruiser channel. I wanted to bring you guys a quick video on an unboxing of the ARB skid plates for the Toyota FJ Cruiser. I chose these skid plates versus something really heavy duty because my FJ is not going to be a severe rock crawler. I just want better protection than what the factory skid plates offer. So with that said, I picked these up from Morris 4x4, and this month they have a $30 off coupon code that you can apply to this. So these ended up being just, I think, 388 bucks. So I thought that was a pretty good value for better protection than what comes with the car. So this is gonna be a quick video. I'm just gonna unbox it and then maybe install it, but just give you the finer details of the installation because it's supposed to be just pretty much bolt on. So let me unbox it, show what's on the inside, how they ship it, and then maybe just show you a final look of with it in the car. Anyways, hope you enjoy it. All right, so now we've got everything unboxed. Here's the on the left. This is the factory one. So there's the front skid plate, and then I guess the transmission one. Now what you get with this is basically the front, the transmission, and then I guess that one just goes a little bit further and then transmission towards the drive shaft. And then you also get a transfer case. Basically replaces the factory one. Does have one of these skids on the transfer case. I guess just replaces it and bolts it on there. But I guess what I want to show is here's the thickness of the factory one. I mean, I don't know what it is, maybe a little, I took a caliper out and I measured it. It's like 1.2 millimeters, and the ARB one, you can tell by comparison, is at least 3 times thicker than that. Granted, it's not as thick as RCI or some other really heavy duty ones, but I think for the money and for the weight that you're saving by not going heavy duty skid plates, I think this is pretty valuable. 388 bucks, and you got something that's going to protect you probably a whole hell of a lot better than what the factory stuff does. So it also comes with this cross member. I'm not sure what it is, where it lines up yet. I opened up the bag of goodies in there, and there's some instructions and a full set of nuts and bolts that you need to put this thing on. So anyways, so let me just go through this. If I see any issues of installing it, I will put a video of it. Otherwise, if it's pretty straightforward, I'll just show the final the final thing already installed in my FJ. Anyway, that's it, guys. Okay, so I got the front two shields in, and they're loose right now, but really don't have anything to talk about that because it's pretty straightforward. The bolts just line up with the bolt holes, and I've had them in there kind of loose. Now when you get to the transmission cross member, this one is worth mentioning a little bit because they have this bracket, and I painted it black just so it wouldn't rust. They have this bracket that is going to mount to this transmission cross member, and basically there are 2 bolts here that hold on to this, that fix this heat shield. So we need to remove these 2 bolts, and it sandwiches in between there. And then on the right side, there's just a hole on this cross member. So what they do is they give you these little cage nuts, and they give you one that the largest one in the kit goes in here. So basically and there's not very much room. There's like a tiny hole on the top of the cross member and a small hole on the bottom of the cross member. So kind of the way you have to do is, very carefully use one finger to get it close to there, and then I used this longer bolt here to kind of, because it's smaller than the nut. So I used it to just guide it. So I shoved it through there, and I was able to at least hold it in place while from the top here, kind of push that thing through, and now it stays on there. So that's how that goes. So now I'm going to mount this bracket, and if anything else is difficult, I'll come back and record it. All right, guys, so now I'm looking at the transfer case and how to mount, I guess, the skid that they give you for it. And I'm very disappointed in the way they designed this thing, because the stock little skid, it is kind of, flimsy, but or not as thick as the one that the ARB provides. But ARB didn't utilize the same mounting points from the stock, so they have you remove 4 bolts from the transfer case itself. So basically you have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts from the transfer case, put it on there, and then retorque those in. I just feel like that's unnecessary, considering you got 2 mounting spots right here that they don't even use at all, and then the two mounting spots in the back, they use the same one from the stock. So I don't know. To me, this is a little bit removing these bolts here for the transfer case. Granted, we're not going to leak any gear oil out of it right now, because it probably takes a whole lot more than that. But just the fact that you got to remove those and retorque them in, I don't know. So I'm going to do it just because, I bought the kit and I'm going to install it. But in my opinion, this is unnecessary. These 2 mounting points here would have been just fine. Anyway, I also removed the diff drop. It really didn't want to fit too well with the diff drop on it. I think I could have made it work. I just needed longer bolts, and the brackets that were on that skid plate, they won't butt up against the frame, but that's okay. I guess if you can add some spacers, you may be able to make it work. But then again, then it kind of drops everything else from there on back. I mean, you may have like a lowered, all your skids would be a little bit lower because of the trickle down effect, I guess you would do it. So I decided, since I have a 2.5 inch lift, I really don't need to diff drop it. So I decided to remove these for now, and it kind of sucked everything up a little bit and gave me like an extra inch of clearance under it. So I'm gonna go with it this way for a little bit, and if I ever have to put a diff drop back on it, then I'm gonna have to alter this the configuration. But the plates are really designed for our no diff drop, for cars without a diff drop. So if you have anything under 3-inch lift, maybe you just remove your diff drop. All right, guys, so I've got it all bolted in there. Here's a quick look of what it looks like starting from the front. And it goes just past that exhaust pipe on the other side. So for the most part, everything was fairly straightforward. The first 2 panels were, bolts right on, mounts correctly. And then let me come to the back side, and I'll give you a couple pointers on some of the back. The back side was a little bit the part that was the hardest. So let's check that out. So after we mounted the that bracket, then it was just a matter of, but really this was the hardest part. The bracket and getting those 2 screws out of that heat shield and mounting everything back up, that was a pain. And then the skid here for the transfer case, just removing all these extra bolts and having to put everything on. So this was like the part I think was the hardest, but still it's fairly straightforward. And this back shield over here goes just beyond the exhaust here, so it kind of protects that as well. This back part, it actually has a folded design to where I think it adds a little bit more structural integrity to it. So it's 3mm steel, but with this folded and the way they have it channeled like that, I think if something hits over here, because of now it's got a square tubing effect all the way around this way, so it's pretty sturdy over here. And then really there's just 1 center bolt there, and then there's 2 hidden ones that you have to put on either side. But it's really solid. It doesn't feel like it's gonna go anywhere, so let's hit some rocks and see how this guy holds up. Hope you guys like this video. Please like, share, leave your comments below and let me know what you think of it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.